Hey there, we're live. Welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If you're brand new to my channel, yay, you're finally here. My goal is to save you time and money by giving you the scoop on filmmaking quality and content so you can decide whether or not you want to watch a particular movie. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much for visiting. Again, I really appreciate it. My subscribers know I always reply to every comment, so keep them coming down below. Now that we're live, I'm going to be watching this monitor over here to see who's joining me and see if anybody's going to leave any comments, because I always love hearing what you have to say. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Novocaine, this comedy slash action slash mystery slash thriller slash crime movie by Paramount Pictures, is now playing in theaters as well as simultaneously on Fandango at home. It is rated R, and it is a hard R for sure. I'm going to give you some tips for parents here in just a few minutes. It's an hour and 50 minutes, and my overall movie review mom grade is a B. Now, on my thumbnail, you're going to see me kind of going like this, doing a little bit of a cringe face because of the R content. Um, it's just super, super bloody, violent, gory. But again, I'm going to get to that in just a minute. Otherwise, I think I might have rated it a little bit higher because it is entertaining and funny when you're not cringing. So first, I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell. Then I'll point out things I liked, things I didn't like. I'll offer tips for parents as well as themes worth talking about if you watch this with other people. And we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are somewhat similar. I also throw in funny lines and interesting lines that I hear to kind of give you a taste for the dialogue and the script writing ability. So, over to the nutshell. The story is about a guy who is incapable of feeling physical pain. And now you might think, hey, that sounds like a good plan. But there are a lot of things that make it not like a great thing. And I'll tell you about that in a minute too. So when the girl of his dreams gets kidnapped, I said that word weird. He turns his rare condition into an unexpected advantage in the fight to rescue her. The film was directed by Dan Burke and Robert Olson, and writing credits go to Lars Jacobson. So here come the tips for parents. This is not an appropriate movie for kids at all, and for some adults too. There is profanity and F-bombs. We see a man's bare chest covered in tattoos. Now that sounds pretty mild, but there is an extreme amount of bloody, gory, brutally violent bloodbath in the whole film. Well, mostly in Acts 2 and 3. Firearms and other weapons are used, and we see people being tortured in various ways. Some of the themes are pleasure versus pain, congenital insensitivity to pain, CIP. And yes, it actually is a real, but a rare medical condition. I looked it up because I thought they just made that up, but apparently that is a thing. And then another theme is the pain that we endure to save the ones we love. So here's the long list of things I really did like about the movie. First of all, the film stars Jack Quaid. Yes, Quaid. He's the son of legendary actor Dennis Quaid and the son of America's sweetheart of the 1990s, Meg Ryan. Jack also starred in the movie Companion, which is still playing in select theaters. And you can see my review of that here on my Movie Review Mom channel. And also, I always simultaneously include a written review at moviereviewmom.com. He did a really good job. He isn't the star in that one like he is in this one, though. Some are calling Jack Quaid the everyman actor and this generation's Tom Hanks. Those are pretty good compliments, in my opinion. So he's doing some things right for sure. The descendants of great actors includes another cast member, Jack Nicholson's son, Ray Nicholson. And I don't know that I've ever seen him in anything before, maybe. But anyway, it was really fun to see them two, knowing that both of their fathers could easily have played in this movie together, a few decades before. Now, I read that production took place in Cape Town, South Africa, but it looks like a typical American city. So I thought that was interesting. The directors carefully thought out the fight sequences because they wanted the movie to seem believable for someone who couldn't feel pain but wasn't a superhero. Like he couldn't withstand everything. And they didn't want his face to look like a quote, mashed potato by the end of the movie. So there's a lot of gut punches and other peripheral body appendages that, get wounded rather than constantly taking a beating or gunshots to the head and that kind of thing. So I thought that was interesting. The official movie opened on Pi Day, which was March 14th, 3.14 and then a bunch of other numbers. And so pi actually works as a metaphor in the film. Look for that and see what messages you can get out of that pi and the pi moment. And then at the end of the movie, there's another pi moment. There are some fun twists that I thought, oh, okay, didn't see that one coming. I should have, but I didn't. I love twists. And act one kind of feels like a rom-com. You're rooting for this guy. He's sort of the nobody, the everyday man, the underdog type of guy. And he meets a girl that he, is excited about, but he's just not socially competent. And then acts 2 and 3 are just full on action nonstop, really. The fight sequences are just brutal, as I mentioned, but very creative. So there's that. When the movie starts, we hear REM's song, Everybody Hurts, kind of for an ironic opener, because obviously he doesn't hurt physically, but he does hurt emotionally. Lots of dark comedy, both spoken and visual. And then I love the title of the movie. It obviously speaks to the protagonist's inability to feel physical pain, but it also underscores how falling in love with someone can make you willing to go through almost anything to protect that person. That love hurts. It feels great, but it also hurts great in many ways. And so I love that sort of play on words for the title. Now, for the list of things that I didn't like, I really just wrote down one, and that is the severe, brutal, bloody, gory violence and torture. Again, I think I would have rated a little bit higher if it had not quite gone all the way and just been kind of some goofy, fun, crazy stuff, but just not as, so many times I was just like, oh, okay, I'm not going to watch this movie. If I edit it, it'll be a 20-minute flick. So whenever I watch movies, I write down funny lines and interesting lines, as I mentioned, and you can see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com, but I'm going to share some of them with you right now. I'm just looking to see who's here and to see if anybody's comment. Nobody's posted a comment yet, but keep the comments, coming down below. All right, so some of the funny lines. So we see this bank heist, and the characters are in the getaway car and they're driving away. And so Ray Nicholson, who's the lead bad guy, he says to his partner in crime, he's like, it's not about the money. What's important is that we had fun. Which of course is not true. Of course they did it for the money. And then Jack Quaid is able, or he goes after the bad guys, and at some point he gets some of the money, and then he's able to help somebody, and then he tells the person, you might want to launder that, by the way, which I thought was good advice. And then another time, Nate is just getting beat up like crazy, and he's like, oh, I might be dying. And then a bad guy says to him, but I'm going to kill you first. Because he doesn't know that Nate has this, Jack Quaid's character has this ability to not feel the pain. And a few times, he's being tortured and he doesn't want to reveal that he can't feel it. And so he's like, oh, ow, which is kind of funny. And then there's an interesting line. And this is a conversation that Jack Quaid's character has with Amber Midthunder's character, the love interest. And she says, she finally learns that he has this inability to feel physical pain. And then she lifts up her shirt. She shows she's got some scars. And then to him, and she says, it's not just you and me. Everybody's hiding something. I think we're all just looking for someone we can show it to. And I thought that was really powerful because she's being vulnerable just like he is, and that there's a closeness and they have a connection. And it's that simple connection that propels Jack Quaid's character to just do the unthinkable to protect this woman that he's falling in love with. So before we go, I want to recommend 3 films I instantly thought of that I think that you're going to like. The first one that I thought of is the movie Nobody, because he's just kind of this nobody. I mean, we find out a few things about him throughout the film, but he's kind of minding his own business, and then the film just turns brutal and violent. I wouldn't say as much as this one. This one is way up there. But you root for this guy, and he takes a beating in the film, and it's funny. There's dark humor and violence and action sequences. The best one by far that's memorable is this incredibly choreographed fight sequence on a bus. So you can watch that scene for sure. And then, of course, I thought of John Wick. Now, I think in terms of fight sequences, John Wick is the bar. I mean, nobody does fight sequences like the John Wick franchise. They're choreographed so well, and they're clever, they're memorable. And there were some scenes in this movie that I was like, that's memorable. I don't know that I've seen that quite that type of a sequence before in terms of that the action, violence, fist fighting kind of thing. So I thought that was interesting. But it's also rated R and very bloody and violent. Each of the movies a little bit more progressively, I think. And then another one that I haven't even seen, but I looked it up to see if there was anything similar. And there's a 2018 film out of India, and it's about the same thing. It's about a man who can't feel physical pain. The movie is called Ko Dard Nahi Hota. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that correctly, but if you want to see what India does with that kind of a premise, then check that one out. All right, I'm trying to make these reviews shorter so that you'll stay to the bitter end. And if you did, thanks so much for watching. You can find me all over social media. You can visit my Facebook Movie Review Mom group, and where we talk about movies and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, those recommendation links are in the description below, as well as a bunch of other stuff where you can learn about my books, my online courses, my travel stuff, and my other shenanigans. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Oh, quick, nope, nobody said anything. You're being quiet. All right, that's enough. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.